First Class Cumberbatch with Newcastle County Police. I'm also one of the drill instructors here at the Academy. The Academy is at the halfway point in the Academy, and they're exactly where we would expect them to be at this point. They're progressing well. They're learning a lot about laws of arrest. They're getting ready to go into their EVOC and driver's training and their firearms. We're learning a lot about the foundations of what we believe here, our community policing aspect. So they're exactly where we expect them to be.
Sergeant Tatum, the BDI here at the Academy. And like was said earlier, we're at the halfway point. And we were very fortunate to have a visit from the county executive and his staff, to include the chief of police and our public safety director. I think it was very important for the Academy class to see members of our agency that once sat in those same seats. I think it was also welcome that they shared a lot of knowledge with them and were able to answer some of their questions about some of the things they had to look forward to in policing.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir!
Please take your seats.
Sir, yes, sir!
It's good to see everybody again. I'm sure we're doing well. We're just over the halfway point with the graduation date sometime in March, and I'm sure we're all looking forward to the same thing, getting out there happy and healthy and safe. I've been down several times to talk to you in the beginning, and as I promised to you, I'd be back a little later in the Academy when you're a little bit more calmed down. And I'm going to take a minute to introduce you to a couple of people that are really important in our county, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the role that they play in my position as chief, so that you can have a better understanding, that you have an opportunity to speak to these people today and ask them anything that's on your mind in regards to your future, the future of law enforcement in Newcastle County. So one of my toughest jobs as chief is trying to get a politician, civilian oversight, to understand and help me grapple with the problems that we're having in policing. You start with your budget, right? Money's always a problem. A police officer bullets to benefits is $110,000, even if you're in the academy. So 9 cops standing shoulder to shoulder cost me $1 million. When I have to go and explain that to a county executive, council, and it makes it difficult for them to understand how many officers we need, how much we cover. When I go to my director of public safety, Joseph Bryant, it's easy. You know, you have a retired major from the county police department, one of the most decorated police drug officers we've ever seen, undercover drug cops, and then goes on to be a decorated chief over at the Delaware River and Bay Authority. So when we both team up and go to see our boss and try and explain to him what we're trying to do, what we need, why we have to have Tahoes, why we need new guns, why we need a new range, we go to see our boss, our elected official, the county executive, Tom Board. Well, instead of it getting tough, it gets easy. And other agencies are struggling. They're struggling to hire. They're struggling to move forward, and they're chasing 911 calls. But I go to our county executive, and I'm okay. Because you're looking at the colonel that hired me in 1989 and was considered the most progressive chief of police in the history of the county police department. So a retired colonel who goes on to become our county executive, holds the line on taxes for 8 years, no tax raises, builds up a $250 million surplus and retires to live happily ever after, only to watch the county swirl down into a big financial mess during the recession, and public safety went with it. So he pulls his suit out, dresses up, comes out, runs against an opponent, and an incumbent, and wins by the majority of the vote, and comes back to bring this county back on top. And I can say, honestly, we are on top, and we are leading law enforcement in Delaware. So without further ado, I'd like to turn it over to the people that I answer to, but I will tell you, I go to them, and I never hear the words no. Our former colonel and currently serving county executive, Tom Borden. Sir?
We've got a great staff. That your colonel, who I can tell you, when I ran the police department for 8 years, county executive, he comes in, he still confuses me. He'll say, you know, I want to promote this guy up here, and I'll give you the money from over here. And usually after he leaves, I find out I've been bamboozled because he's really good. But his leadership, along with Joe Bryant's leadership, has put the department back on top. It's nothing that I've done. Very easy as executive. I tell everybody that when you're running a government, if you don't have to get up every morning and answer questions about homicides and murders and robberies and rapes, I get to do another job, and it's usually land use or sewer with Wayne or something else to do with this very large government, very large county. And I am very fortunate to have these two people by my side that have made my job very easy. And I don't think I have spent an hour in the last 2 years on worrying about the police department. From the looks of the group here, they're going to produce another fine group of individuals going to go out there and do a great job day in and day out. Usually by the end you get a little bit more braver and get a little smarter, but I don't think when you come in the middle of the academy you get many questions yet. But look, it's a great career. I promise you, you know, the economy's dying out there, and the only thing that's really making a living anymore is policing, and especially our police department. You've got a great future, and I'm proud of every one of you. I know what you went through to get where you are, and it's worth it. So work hard, and although it may seem a long ways away, we will soon be at a graduation where you'll be very proud of what you're accomplished with your family and friends, and I'm very proud to salute you that night.
You know, I have to say how honored we are to have you. For those from Middletown Police Department, but more specifically those from Newcastle County, thank you for considering us and coming our way. You have by far selected the very best law enforcement agency in the state of Delaware, if not on the East Coast. We are so progressive that basically everyone in law enforcement tends to follow us in how we do and what we do. So it's important that you do your very best in this setting. You have to stay focused. You have to take everything that comes your way. You have to take it in, absorb it, and just maintain it. And then at some point in time, when you leave this academy and you go on the street and FTO, you will see it and you'll feel some of the things that you've experienced that you probably didn't understand. The leadership in this agency is, once again, it's the very, very best. Our colonel, and you've met him, you've talked to him, I'm sure, you all have. He's one of a kind. So I'm not sure if there's anyone else that want to speak. If not, we're not going to leave until we get some questions.
Gentlemen, Recruit Officer Dixon, with what's happened in Ferguson and with the Eric Gardner case in New York, I can't imagine what it would be like to be in the positions you're in. I would imagine that there's plenty of questions, maybe from constituents, maybe even pressure. Can you tell us a little bit about that and what your lives have been going through the last couple of weeks?
I'm the colonel, or let the colonel answer that, because he's done such a good job that we don't have that much question.
But here's the truth. We're not in trouble with Ferguson's situation because we started with community policing back when I came on. You know, there's no doubt sitting in this academy, how many times have you heard the words community policing, how important it is to have some type of dialogue, to treat people with a modicum of respect, the way you want to be treated. You've all heard that here. And you know, you're put through the ringer, as we talked about when I came down and saw you early on. These guys are putting you through the ringer to make sure that you can maintain your professionalism when you get out there, because that's what you have to do. And the truth is, a Ferguson could happen if we handle things the wrong way, if we fall prey to contempt of cop. But our history has shown us that we have the best training, we have the best equipment, we have the best leadership, and you know, we don't fall into those situations. Now, the article that's come out in Newsweek is going to shed a lot of national light and attention on Delaware. Once again, I don't look at that as a bad thing. This is our county, and we're going to do things right. And all we have to do is continue doing things the way we've always done them, and nothing will come down on us, so to speak. And the other agencies, as always, they'll be forced to follow the lead that we're setting. And I got to tell you, Ferguson's a tragedy, but my time here, we have always focused on community policing. We have always gone out of our way to keep some type of communication. We stumbled with that for a couple of years. We missed a beat, and things got rough quick. But we brought all that back in, and I think it's going to stay that way.
We're going to roll call. I remember saying that one of every 7 people has a video camera. Well, now it's one-on-one because everybody's got a cell phone with a camera and a video capability. So if you think you're going to do anything that will escape CNN and 24-hour coverage, think again. Everything you do is potential, good or bad for your organization and for you personally. So you have to think before you act, trust me. Do the right thing, Dan.
Thank you all, and we'll be back before you all graduate for another session of Talk to the Government.
I will have the other chiefs come down sometime, probably after the first year. The chiefs from the different divisions within the public safety to spend some time with you as well. All right?
Thank you all again, and happy holidays.
I'm Recruit Officer Russ Michaud with Middletown.
I'm Recruit Officer Mary McGrath with the county.
I am Recruit Officer Thompson with Newcastle County Police.
You guys just got through the halfway mark of your training in this academy. What do you think about where your class is in terms of its development?
I think we're on par or ahead of where we need to be. I came from a military background. I've led thousands of troops, and I think our team dynamic and group dynamic and our family dynamic is outstanding. We might have our missteps, just like any family would, but if we have an infraction, it goes disciplined and corrected, and we move on as a family.
I agree with Recruit Officer Michaud. I feel we've accomplished a lot the past few weeks and really come together as a family, and every day we just get closer and closer.
Yes, we are definitely moving in the right direction. You know, as Recruit Officer McGrath and Recruit Officer Michaud has said it best, I mean, we are our family. We are where we're supposed to be at this moment. And we're moving forward full force with full energy, full of motivation, and we're just ready to rock.
Now, the head of Newcastle County Government, County Executive Tom Gordon, came to meet you guys formally. He's the former colonel of this very police department for Newcastle County. He also brought Director of Public Safety Joe Bryant, another former county police officer. He brought his Chief of Staff, Jim McDonald, former police officer for the WPD. And of course, Colonel Setting, who is your Chief of Police. Starting with the county exec, what do you guys take away from some of the things that he talked about in terms of his experience?
I think the county exec and Colonel Setting, the dynamic there is outstanding. I think even though I'm with Middletown, I think their dynamic and their focus on the mission and the people and the community is like nothing I've ever seen. I think it's amazing, and I think that this department's going to go very far and continue to soar.
I also agree with what Recruit Officer Michaud said. It was great to hear their history and where they came from, and to know that they started at the same place that we did and that we could achieve something that great.
Yes, the message was powerful. The focal point is community policing. And it's not just laying down a law, but just interacting with people in everyday life. Whether it's, you know, helping an old lady carry the bags or helping someone get out the car. Just anything in general. Like, our focal point is community policing. It's about helping the people, giving off a positive message, regardless of the situation.
Excellent. Was there anything else that you recruit officers wanted to add at this point in your training?
This has been one of the most incredible experiences of my life. After 23 years in the military, I can honestly say that this whole journey with these people has been absolutely incredible.
Each day is just a new experience. Every day we all go through something that we've never experienced before, and I can't wait to see what the future holds.
Well, as you can tell, I lost my voice because every day is an exciting day. Every day is an opportunity to move forward with positive energy. Always focus on the positive, negative, never the negative. And as you can see from our experiences, we all come together at the end of the day as a family. That is our focal point. We preach family all the time.
Well, thank you very much, NCCTV. Really appreciate you taking the time to chat with us and to discuss your development, and look for us to come back soon.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Attention!